Okie dokie boys and girls, it is day 313 of bulking to 75 kilos with calisthenics only, and we have another squatting day on the menu. Now I've been trying to come back from a little bit of a hip injury on the pistol squat, and last time I actually did a full workout with pistol squats only. Now I do have to say that was a little bit too much, and oftentimes when we have an injury and then we heal, we want to get back quick into the swing of things, we want to have a quick comeback, we want everything to go smooth, but the quickest way to come back is to have patience. And I feel like last time I overdid it a little bit. I did a bit too much pistol squats, especially the bodyweight ones. Like they feel like they aggravate my hip still. So today I'm just gonna have to listen to my body, but oftentimes when we speak of the phrase like listen to your body, we fall into this victim mentality of automatically thinking listening to the body is training light or not training at all, or taking a day off and basically allowing yourself to be a little bitch, but I don't think that necessarily has to be the case. In fact, you have to be very careful of it. Yes, you have to listen to your body, but when you have to adjust things, make sure that you're not adjusting them and allowing yourself to slack off. So we often think like, oh shit, we often think of the things we cannot do anymore. So for me, today I cannot, or it's wise for me not to do the bodyweight pistol squats. When I look at my long-term goal, being as strong as possible, today the best option I have is to not do bodyweight pistol squats. But then we look at these things that we don't have to do or we cannot do, right? And we oftentimes don't think about the things that we can do instead. For every little thing that you cannot do or should not do, you can think of 1,000 more that you can do instead. It's in your mind. It's a mindset, as Eric Bugenhagen would say. But, that's very important. And today I'm going to do the same as well. I can still pistol squats. For me, for some reason, the weighted pistol squat feels less painful in my hips. So I am going to be able to do it. I'm going to aim for a little progress on that. But then afterwards, it's not because I am not able to do bodyweight pistol squats anymore that I should just end the workout on 3 sets of pistol squats and allow myself to slack off and happy days, In fact, it's not going to be happy days, because if you have been like training hard for a while and you've put in all this effort and suddenly, you don't put your effort into your workouts anymore, sure, you might look forward to not having to do as much in your workout, but afterwards you're going to feel empty because you feel like your effort is going to waste. Avoid that, Instead, make your workouts harder than they usually are. Even if it's not physical, make them mentally harder than they already are. And that way, you're going to feel like you're building on the effort you previously put in. So for me, I'm going to do my pistol squats. I am not going to go overboard, but then afterwards, I'm going to do different exercises and challenge myself. That's the plan for today. So let's go. I already warmed up with this weight, so I'm going to put 10 kilos more, which that makes 34 kilos. Yes, and I'm going to do 3 sets of controlled reps with this. Probably like 3 reps or something if I'm able to. Let's go. Okay, 3 sets of 3 reps, a little bit more weight than last time, and probably next time I'll just do the same weight but try a bit more reps, maybe 4 or 5, depending on how I'm feeling. But the most important part is that I'm able to do these reps in a controlled fashion and I don't have too much pain. I'm starting to think that the pain is actually coming from like having my leg up all the time, because that's when you use the hip flexors instead of when I'm actually squatting. So that's something I'll have to figure out in the future. But anyway, I'm not going to do any more pistol squats. And this is something I would normally not recommend, especially if you're healthy, right? If you're healthy, just do the exercise that you want to get strong at as much as possible. And try to really boil it down to 1 or at most 2 exercises, For example, for me, On the front lever, yesterday I focused most of my workout on the front lever itself, and then, you know, it's nice to be strong at the pull-up too, so I do one set, but I don't put my effort really in the pull-ups, because if you can get strong at one exercise, and it's like a good, solid exercise, you're gonna have carryover into other exercises too. And by becoming stronger, you know, by being able to lift more weight or doing more reps or whatever the fuck, you know, increasing your performance, you're gonna build your physique as well. Your physique is gonna shape to whatever you demand of your body. So normally I would recommend, you know, after the main sets of pistol squats, do some more pistol squats, you know. That's what I did last time, but for me, at the moment, I'm not completely healthy, so I'm gonna do something else. Now, of course, like I mentioned in the beginning, you don't want to have the victim mentality, right? So what I'm about to do are some sits that I don't know how are gonna go. I'm gonna do normal squats with my heels elevated, with 50 kilos on my shoulders, and I'm gonna try to get 50 reps. And if I can get 50 reps, or not even if I can get 50 reps, but I'm gonna do 3 sets at least, the goal on each of those being 50 reps, and I'm just gonna see how it goes, you know. I don't know if I will be able to even reach that for one set, but that's exactly the point, you know. Even if you are not completely able to do the training that you wanted to do, you can still challenge yourself, you know. You can do training that perhaps is so difficult that you would rather have your usual training, you know, because it's easier. So that's what I'm gonna do right now. Squats with 50 kilos. It's gonna burn like hell. It's gonna be difficult, but even then, I'm not gonna be done, you know. You want to make your workouts hard, especially on the days that you're not able to train like you usually do, you know, because then you don't have your structure anymore. You don't have your usual structure, so you have to, you know, go extra hard to make sure that you're putting in the effort. And yeah, that is what is gonna make your training worthwhile. But yeah, let's put the weight on and get going. Fucking hell. I feel like my legs themselves are still able to go, but it's this combination of holding the dumbbell up on your shoulders and then also squatting down. 30 reps, it's a PR, but it's far from 50. My brother does 70 kilos for 56 reps. I do not understand how, in the slightest. But nonetheless, I'm not able to do the training I'm supposed to do or wanted to do today, aka the pistol squats. Today I'm going off the routine. I'm doing normal squats. I'm not used to this. I have to make sure that I'm not making excuses for myself to allow myself to train like a little baby, you know. So whether I get the reps goal or not, 3 sets to the max with squats. Next set I'm gonna try to just spam them and see what happens. But 2 sets more nonetheless. Oh. Alright. 27. Holy fucking shit, I'm seeing stars. It's already light outside though, but doesn't matter. Training is not done yet. I'm gonna do 2 more sets of CC squats. Superset. All right. Whew. Holy shit. Oh, it's burning even more now. That's quite a good finisher set. I'm gonna do 1 more, but I basically do my pistol squats until the limit, and then I start helping myself up by pulling on the bar. So I'm only doing the negative really, and then only slightly pushing to the top. But if I can't do the negatives anymore, I just start doing, I guess you can call them bunny squats because it looks like you're hopping, but because you're on your tippy toes, they will, just like when you elevate your heel, when you go on your tippy toes, your heels are elevated, right? And just like the squats I did earlier, they're gonna be more focused on your quadriceps. So the burn is insane right now. Gotta go until failure. Alright, that's failure. Okie dokie, so that's it for today's training, and I'm very happy with how it went, you know. The last finisher set, if you purely care about muscle building, I would say give it a go, you know. The CC squat, and then once you're not able to do the CC squat anymore, you help yourself up and you control the negative, and once you're not able to do that anymore, you go on your tippy toes. Well, you're already on your tippy toes, but you do squats on your toes basically, and these are gonna really put focus on your quadriceps only. And well, once you're not able to do any more of those toe squats, those tippy toe squats, you're really gonna feel the burn, especially once you drop down and you're on your knees. The burn continues, trust me. So it feels, well, it doesn't feel good, but at the same time it does. If you have been training for a while, you will know what I'm saying there. But yeah, very happy with how today's training went. And of course, for me, I care about strength. I normally wouldn't do these CC squats sets because I don't care about getting strong at the CC squats. But you know, if you're not able to train the way that you want to, you have to focus on what you are still able to do. You know, you have to focus on your new 100%. You have to focus on what is the best option for you today to get stronger tomorrow, and well, in the distant future as well. Of course, you have to make your training sustainable. And oftentimes, you know, or I would say always, you know, in 100% of the cases, I don't really have to make the toothpaste law, or like a rule where they say you have 99.99% of the bacteria dead because there could be one survivor. No, that's not the case, you know. In every single scenario that I can imagine, there is some better option than just doing nothing at all and, you know, seeing yourself as a victim. You know, even if you're not training, you know, there is still a better option than like slacking off and doing nothing at all. Because even if you're not able to train at all, you can just blink your eyes consciously, you know, as a sort of protest against not being able to train. And because you're doing an action consciously towards your goal, you're still gonna have better gains than when you're just allowing yourself to slack off and when you're feeling sorry for yourself. So in any case, go out there and do something. That's the most important part. And ideally, in those situations, you do something that is so hard that you think like, wow, I did this and it might have been harder than what I am usually doing. And if you can achieve that, if you can achieve more difficult trainings in less ideal times, that's when you make progress, because you're going to get, at some point, you're going to get back to your usual training. You now have, an evolved mindset, and you're going to be able to apply it to your training. And basically, you're going to have this big fire, the burning heart. You're going to have like the adrenaline and the excitement and whatever the hell you need to progress even more in the exercises you care about, which is, well, that's what we're all aiming for, So that's it for today's training. Very happy with how it went. I've already mentioned that. But I'm gonna head downstairs. No, I'm gonna have a shower, then head downstairs and have some breakfast. So I'll see you tomorrow for a Nordic curl day. Yes, hamstrings. I'll see you then. Whew. This is gonna be sore tomorrow.